As it turns out, I do have another choice. I'm not a religious person, I won't identify myself as such. Or rather, I can't. Sure, my grandparents didn't force me to go weekly, I'd happily join them. In fact, most of my childhood Sundays have been spent attending service. It's simply that as you get older, the more experiences you get, forming your own beliefs on things becomes easier, for the lack of a better word. And at one point I just stopped. That kind of thing. Nevertheless, I hold no disdain for it. Sometimes it does help. When things are really, really bad. When the dreams won't stay where they should be. Talking does. A bit. It's also a good thing. Father Norman's, well, he's not completely the pious man you typically expect. My unlikely friendship only probably happened because he's the kind of guy who's cool with the young ones, as he so aptly puts. Yet he is, surprisingly. Makes him easy to approach. Maybe he has something to say about the photos as well. It won't hurt since I've already gone ahead and went to Anselm. At daybreak. On my bike. At the very least, I know I won't get shouted at by whoever answers the door.
Unless someone does that inside a church. I highly doubt it.
Despite its age, the Luxborn Church is a thing of wonder in itself, with its high vaulted ceilings and intricate stained glass windows. One of the many gifts the Ervingard family donated to the community in its early days. Or so I've heard from Rebecca. She mentioned this once, although most of it flew over my head then. At this time of the day, the church is mostly empty, save for a few visitors and ushers shuffling about, some muttering their prayers under their breath. The scene of burning candles and incense permeate the air, giving the place a general feeling of reverence. Pretty welcoming all in all. Even so, I keep the noise my treads make to a minimum. Disturbing the quiet feels like a sin alone. An usher points me to a pew in front of the altar when asked where Father Norman prays. He mentions something about the good priest not being in good health. Ever since he was asked by a couple to bless their new home before moving in. This is the first time in days he's left his room. No surprise there, with the weird heat lately, even Rebecca caught something. Nervous little chap, the kid. Nevertheless, he leads me close to the front of the dais, with a reminder not to stay too long before walking off. Seconds later, Father shifts and stands. He doesn't seem to have noticed me, and I have to give him a little tap on the shoulder. When he looks, though, to say he's surprised is an understatement.
Stay away!
It's me, Father. His voice comes out a whisper, almost inaudible in the hush, a quiet restraint and deference to where we are both standing. But the tremor is there. He focuses on me with wide, bulging eyes, a copious amount of sweat appearing on his forehead despite the relative coolness of the place.
Father Norman?
Keep your distance!
Hey, it's me, Zach, remember?
Stay away, don't come near me!
It must be the fever talking, or whatever he caught. It has to be. I don't recall ever doing anything for him to drive me away like this. In all the years I've known him, he's been nothing but polite, nothing but accepting of people regardless of beliefs or status in life. For words akin to a threat to come out of him, it's simply beyond unimaginable.
Go back to where you came from! Leave!
Father, what did I do?
Leave! Now!
I extend a hand to his shoulder, meant to be reassuring, but he recoils, his ankle catching on the edge of the dais as he backs away. His shout when I attempt to reach out again echoes through the entire hall, catching the attention of the few people inside. I try to keep a level tone, but with these strangers' eyes trained on us, panic starts to weave its way into me.
Stay away, demon! Go back to the hell you came from!
Father, it's okay. I only came here for some pictures I thought looked odd. I figured you might know something.
From my pocket, I fish out the photos and try to hand it to him. Instead, he strikes my wrist away, almost like an accusation, and sends the photographs fluttering uselessly to the floor. Helpless, I can only watch as he curls into himself on the ground, a sad, blubbering mess, whimpering to himself. He tips his head forward and begins rocking, his hands clapped over his ears.
That accursed spirit, so full of anger and pain. All those horrible things I've seen. I can't sleep. I can't eat everywhere I look. Go away. Go away. Go away. You're not supposed to be here. This is a house of God. Begone, demon! Lord have mercy, God, our Lord, King of ages, all-powerful and almighty. You who made everything and transform everything simply by your will.
A number of people have moved closer, mostly just to gawk. Thankfully, as if to save him from being an utter spectacle, 2 ushers come out taking him away. One of them, the kid from earlier, shoots me an apologetic look. I can't even return it to him. Anxiety is a powerful thing, a firm little notion that clings, eats, and consumes you. I can still hear his prayers even as they drag him away.
May he keep at bay and vanquish every evil power, every poison or malice invoked against us by corrupt and envious people. Then under the protection of your authority may we sing in gratitude.
It rings, hums in me as I'm left to pick up the pieces of this chaos. Back to square one we go. If there is salvation in this, I hope we find it soon. The moon is well into the night sky by the time I make it back home. My heavy treads and the sound of traffic outside echoing in my ears, filling the empty room with some semblance of life. Nana would scold me if she ever hears me walk like that, but after today, I really can't give a damn about everything. The mattress creaks under my weight as I unceremoniously flop down on it, and I find myself looking at the paper under my grip. As promised, Ms. Wright had my bike delivered back to my apartment. Found it parked in the rack downstairs with an invitation and a note tacked to it, in fact. Be there, it said. If only it were that easy. But it'll give me a chance to talk to her. About that thing in their house. With a sigh, I let my hand fall to the side of the bed, along with the invitation. I'll think about it tomorrow when my head ain't muddled with thoughts of a headless woman and the haunting smiles of a ghost. But lately it occurs to me I haven't eaten anything since I left this morning. An empty gnawing ache makes itself known, but I can't bring myself to stand up. Today was a complete waste of time, and frankly a disappointment. I don't like this. The lack of certainty, the disquiet, the lack of stable ground to stand on, the part where I do not know what will come tomorrow. Ever since that damn letter, everything has been thrown out of the loop. I wish everything stayed the same. Routine would have been easier to make sense of than this. Closing my eyes, I let the noise from the streets below lull me to sleep. At the very least, that's the one thing that hasn't changed. The melody carries into the hall long before I cross the threshold. Solemn but gentle and soothing, a reminder of what home is. Pa's firm but meaningful gaze, Ma's wistful smiles, the warm rays filtering through the eaves at sunset, the distinct smell of wet earth and leaves after a long day's rain in our room. The room, Ma and Pa's pride and joy, a place we were once promised several springs ago. Yet it won't stop.
No, wait! Come back! I'll be good this time! Please don't leave! Please stay!
The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is, the walls more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases, and Pa... I can't hear Pa. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There is only the blinding fear. But when the light breaks... Her skin has already taken a sickly pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Hannah's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. A scream ripples through the air. My whole body feels distant. Every limb heavy with lead, all unable to move at will. Not even so I can wipe the beads of sweat forming at my temple. The rasping of my breath easily fills the room in the wee hours, while I force it back into a steady rhythm. There's a tightness in my chest I can't shake off, my heart pounding against it as if it's about to burst out. Something cold has settled in my legs. Not the usual chill that comes and goes with the passing breeze from the window, but one strong enough to sting, shackle, and leave a frigid sensation creeping up my skin. With every struggle I make, the pressure winds firmly around my legs. Tighter, and tighter, and tighter, all until it becomes too much. My heart stops. Another draft sweeps into the room and brings with it the iron tang of blood. Thick, suffocating. Filling my nose with the foul, sickening smell as I shift my gaze downwards and it slowly comes into view. Mouth stretched into a hideous smile and eyes brimmed with nothing but madness. The stench of gore taints the air around me and I can't look away. From it, her, from the terror and death at her uncanny, twisted features alone scream. I try to open my mouth to shout, to ask for any help, but my voice has left my body altogether. All I have is the painful realization that no kind of plea will ever save me from her. Then suddenly the bed dips. The brutal plunge back into myself jerks me awake. There's no ear-splitting scream, no wild thrashing of limbs. Just a painful, constricting awareness that something has wound itself tightly around my neck. I waste no second pulling it, a blanket away, but allow myself a few minutes to steady my breathing before getting off the bed. Inhale, hold, exhale. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. But the dreams have gotten worse. Ever since 2 days ago, no longer are they the small cursory flashes that I'm used to, but vivid ones that linger. I can still feel the blood in my hands, the putrid smell of rotting flesh, the sickening crunch of bones breaking with every movement, and her cold, chilling eyes as they bore into me. I draw in one long, ragged breath, and before I know it, I'm walking out the door. Even in the waking world, it reeks. The bench on the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxbourne, considering its location at the heart of a bustling city. But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor, problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet, neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, its claws digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling
It used
down,
to be easy,
falling
finding
down,
some pretense of
falling
peace
down.
under the guise
London
of sheer
Bridge is
optimism,
falling down,
following
my
regular
fair
routine.
lady.
Now,
Take a key and lock him
now I
up.
don't know what to
Lock
make of
him up.
it.
Lock him
Sometimes
up.
it's easier to
Take
run,
a key and
easier to
lock
hide
him up.
when everything's falling
My
apart.
fair lady.
That way, you don't have to be the first to witness it when it
London
does.
Bridge is falling down.
worked when things went
falling
bad with
down,
the movie, after all.
falling down. London
It also
Bridge
worked
is
when Ma and Pa
falling
were
down.
taken from us.
My fair lady.
Though the sentiment's a
Take
little
a key
hypocritical when
and
you
lock
think about it,
him up.
with my little
Lock
talk with
him
Miss
up.
Hannah Wright the
Lock
other
him
day.
up. Take a key
that's just
and
how it
lock
is.
him up. My
Maybe it
fair
really is better if I
lady.
just...
Hey, mister.
Hello, Mr. Achievement Unlocked. The tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, a little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes, overflowing with what can only be the natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the St. Gerardi uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
Hey kid.
Kylie.
Kylie?
That's my name. Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swing in tune with the song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nana would often invite the ones in our neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then Sis and I were both too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely as unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid anyway.
Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street where a kid is taking shots of something above him. Doesn't look to be birds because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cuter. Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
I'm sure your mama will eventually give you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big Brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa. We aren't going to be late. It's sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
All right, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile has spread over my face. They say kids ask the toughest questions sometimes, and they sure do, with how sincere Kylie looks. Lion feels like doing her a huge disservice.
No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why is that? Is that like when my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble. Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
I highly doubt that. One of my friends, she left us because of her.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help. That's what happened with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers. Now we're playmates.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason. Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan. You're just scared, mister.
That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone or simply the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisure walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead, then backtrack when the going gets tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up on our next appointment after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is, but that doesn't mean I should just leave it up to fate.
You better get to school, though, or you'll miss sports day. You should have won yourself some awards, alright?
Alright. Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face. The first few steps, they say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I give her a little pat on the head before heading my way. A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things. But maybe when she's older. When the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me, mister?
With what?
Confused, I glance back. Whatever cheer our little talk brought has vanished under the shadows seemingly dancing in my eyes. This frigid air is most definitely not how the morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid.
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
Leave us alone! What did we do to you?
The response never comes, however, because when I blinked, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child. None of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing, huh? I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
I break into a run. I don't look back, not even as I bump into a couple of passers-by as soon as I'm out on the busy streets. Going insane. This is what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. The tremors follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I'm assaulted with more images of her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back, and for the first time coming home feels more like a chore. Only, I didn't arrive to an empty room. Because as soon as I open the door, I am greeted by none other than
Sup, Z-Man?
whatever proverbial stone has made a home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of Ashton. Sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped atop the coffee table. Common sense dictates I should throw him out. Any person of a right mind would. But like many other things I've grown accustomed to, I simply take it all in stride. I never did bother turning him away for the first time to begin with.
Ash, how many times do I have to tell you not to call me Z-Man? And stop breaking into my apartment! Call the cops on you, but doing that feels like a joke in itself because you are one.
I didn't. You gave me a key the last time I did that, remember?
After the last one you broke, I can't keep replacing the knob just because you think it'd be amusing to lockpick the hell out of it. And hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me, because of course, he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth, and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. He's likely been waiting for a while if he's gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
You ate all of it! I was saving that one for the weekend!
I'll replace it.
What exactly is this about?
In an instant, he sits up, every trace of amusement gone from his face. He clasps his hand in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
Has everything been alright with you lately? Anything odd?
You saw me last night at the housewarming party, Ash. Pretty sure I'm doing fine.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
I look at him. Gaped, more like. His serious expression doesn't waver despite the perplexed look I shoot him. There's a brief second I let pass as I wait for the heavens to fall somewhere. It doesn't come. The sky is still bathed in vibrant reddish hues as it waits for the night to arrive. Luxbourne is still the same busy city, and everything in my room still appears as it did a second ago, including the unnerving ticking of my wall clock. But if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Becca's been saying weird things lately.
Weird like...
Same kind of weird Isabella says.
Aight, bro, stop right there. I thought you didn't believe in this stuff.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Are you sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
I got taken off that one this morning.
Didn't you say you were getting closer to...
Apparently, the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it. It doesn't matter, though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track. Have you seen the news this morning?
Man burned after room catches fire. Another victim by the Anselm Butcher. He grabs the remote and cycles through numerous channels until he gets to a news report about another guy who's been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. If only they knew.
You think this is...
I don't know what to think, Zach.
He rises from the chair and begins pacing the length of the room, lacing his fingers roughly through his hair.
I just know there's something. There must be. There has to be. Fuck!
Well, you do have something in mind, I'm sure. A plan? Come on, Ash, you're good with that.
I do. I'm just not sure if I'll get anything out of it.
Well, a plan is better than no plan at all, ain't it?
Almost too sudden, he swivels on his heel, and for a passing moment I thought he was going to shout at me. Instead, Ash simply flops back down on the couch, crosses his arms over his face, and releases a long, ragged breath. His voice comes out smaller, closer to a whisper when he speaks again.
I should have looked into this when she was still here. Maybe none of this would have happened if I did.
There it is. No need to ask who her is. Every should have, could have, and would haves. All our frustrations in one statement, while all we can do is cope. What should I say? Make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. You have one job, man.
Rebecca and I are still here.
That actually... Oh, come on, man.
We'll manage, one way or another.
Don't make it sound so easy. We have no idea what we're dealing with here.
I ain't saying it will be, but we gotta do something, yeah? Make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
He grins. None of it reaches his eyes, but it's a start. We've got to start picking up the pieces somewhere and hope everything will turn out for the better at some point. And Ash, well, frustrations aside, he's always preferred taking matters into his own hands. However, a little reminder there are other people with him won't hurt.
You have a point.
I always do. You just don't listen.
If he minds the bluntness in my words, he doesn't show it. Little by little, things begin to look up, if only for a short while. Ash leaves mere minutes close to sundown. He said little until then, not even a hint of what he's aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, his whole reticent attitude on the matter gnaws at me. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to him as he steps out the crowded walkway, however. There's only his goal in mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before he made the decision to drop by. But despite this, he lags behind.
What's wrong, Ash?
His mouth opens, then closes, but whatever he wants to say is lost in the clamor of traffic outside.
Is there something I can do?
No, just say where you are.
I can't do that. No can do, Ash. Ask me anything but that. No way in hell I'm gonna pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
What? You think you have a better plan?
Who knows if it's better? At least it's something.
If all this is going to do is put you in danger, then I'd rather you not do anything at all. I never want to wake up to that kind of thing again. Finding out one of my friends has been found dead. Murdered in her own apartment. One person is enough.
This is still better than having no other course of action, yeah?
He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
Do what you want. If you can check in with Rebecca, I'd appreciate it.
When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny glimmer in his eyes is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. All Hallows Eve Eve. Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach. It's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. It It's not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than to just pass time. Though if I'm going to be honest, it is not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and hope I'll hear from Ash soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from him since he left. He hasn't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes he would have the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concern stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. For a second there I thought she was not wearing clothes. It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears strained for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, the power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about on the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand can reach, but in the resulting panic like in the nightmares, it is the scent that reaches me first. A foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whoever it is with me in the room. It won't, but it's the only comfort I have.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, the soft scuttling over the walls followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave! Leave now! There's nothing here for you!
There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while I think my plea has worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. So we're playing Fatal Frame here. So do I just have to wait for the camera to run out, or what? Ah, so that's how you do it. So I am going to let the camera run out because we know she's right there. Because I want the CG. I may want to fast forward this in editing. So she's right here now based on the audio cues. Now that I think about it, this is a chance to actually observe his room. And hopefully you don't get the notification my friend is playing Dota 2 at the moment, because that kind of ruins it. This is a more annoying QuickTime event, I have to say. Hold on, if I take pictures will it drain the battery? Yes, it does. I wish I had known this sooner. Oh, that's lame. Okay, let's do it right this time. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features before it is once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shrieking brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I mustered flees from my body at the sound. The next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to my mind or my pulse settles down. And yet, dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who has always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. The sun has already peaked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton first and foremost. Part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could neither find hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is. He can't be too far off if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there is only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it. A small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole of Anselm feels at odds with the rest of Luxborn. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day, and why she's still here, walking its hallowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure that's what Isabella would want if she was still here. I head straight for their door without a second thought. Takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness, before I hear footsteps on the other side.
God and Bennett, only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour. Where's that damn butler when I need him?
He's disposing of the body for you. You're welcome. Before long, the door swings widely open, with Mr. Luke Wright staying behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You! Again! It's bloody 6 in the morning! What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time! Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't! Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door into my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Ms. Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? I've already seen the look on her face when I tried before. There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do?
Lurking.
What do you want? You're already dead! Leave us!
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hand slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxborn. Try to find the others. Try to get out of this mess with them. Or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance to Luxborn, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here, and I've just missed him earlier. Already my feet are moving in search of him for the second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably just wait for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That it is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. That it is something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. And if he continues the way he is right now, I'm afraid he'll make a fatal mistake this time. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him. I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that is when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listen for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet start moving before I can stop them. And there as I circle a corner, from the room up the second floor. There are no lights inside, and the windows are shut, but I'm sure whoever's singing is in there. And what?
Hold on a sec there.
It's difficult to get a decent view from my position, but something's odd about that window. The marks on the other side, rather. Streaks the color of copper running across the wide glass panes. I can't make out most of it, if the strokes are meant to say something. Ms. Wright's cleaning crew may have simply missed that room. Still, why I'll hear an old tune here, of all places, I won't know. It's not an obscure song by all means, but it is pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow the song around. Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be... I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance that it is Miss Wright.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation why this is a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, damn it, damn it, god damn it. By the way, in case you're kind of curious at what time I'm playing this... I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? With how big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, someone's already bit the dust. That and the cries grow louder against my ear the longer I linger. Almost impossible to ignore, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. Still, I've got to try. Searching takes a while. Eventually I find a branch with the right distance and the height to reach the window. Climbing the tree to get to it, however, is a whole different story altogether. I haven't done that since I was a school kid, but even then it's a struggle for me. I do manage to make it work somehow. After a hard battle, a few bruises and scrapes to my arms, I'm hoisting myself up the window, and falling right through the room when the panel suddenly gives. The awful, putrid smell assaults me before the pain from the fall itself, and I have to fight the urge to puke right there. But what welcomes me as soon as I collect myself from the floor and open my eyes only serves to push the vomit up my throat.
Miss Hana?
Paleness has overtaken her body, her limbs and face beginning to bloat. And blood. So much blood. How many hours has it been? I would have approached her, but the foul smell permeating the room says all there is I need to know. She has been long gone. There's nothing I can do. I try not to gag, not to touch anything, my feet automatically backing away from the small pool of blood at her feet, from the bare walls void of any colors except for the words, "Help me." Panic quickly surges in me. Of all the moments to be here. Wrong place, wrong time. Shit. I've got to call someone. Ash, the authorities, anyone.
She's dead. She's dead. God damn it, she's dead.
Someone has to. A vase shatters at my feet. The sound of glass breaking, rending through the thick, foul air, sharp and cutting. But none of it sinks in. Not even the crunch of glass under my shoes as I take an uneasy step to steady myself. Instead, all I hear is the sound of footsteps and shuffling outside, their very urgency at odds with the hammering of my heart against my ribs. There is no comfort, no escape when the door opens. Mr. Luke Wright barges in the room wide-eyed and seething with fury.
There should be a law against noise this early in the morning.
His eyes shift from me to Miss Hannah, into the mess of blood and shards on the floor. It doesn't take long for him to put two and two together, easy for me to see what conclusion he got. I open my mouth, trying to weave some semblance of coherence amidst the cloud of panic and fear in my head.
Hannah? Hannah, darling? Buttercup? Love? Speak to me.
I know this looks bad.
You! What did you do?
There is no question in that. Only an accusation.
I know this looks really bad, standing here in your house with a dead body, but I can explain.
You've killed her! You ones! Get in here!
Mr. Wright, this ain't what it is. Outside, there was a noise. Someone's crying.
You killed her! Hannah! Oh, Hannah! My lovely, beautiful Hannah! I knew you were bad news the moment you showed up here!
You have to believe me, sir. It wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't.
For a moment there is only silence, an ache in the room abruptly tilting on its axis, dimming.
Call the police! Get rid of this rubbish!
Certainly. Will you be having tea this morning? Bring it to my study. And clean out that awful skin.
Darkness falls. The pain is the worst when I come to. A sharp, piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Blearily, I open my eyes, expected to be greeted by sunlight. However, the walls that welcome me are unfamiliar. Curiosity killed the cat unlocked. When everything comes into focus, I recognize the place for what it is. A cell. Dark, cramped, with the only light coming from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window barred by thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in sharp bursts. The mansion, looking for Ashton, a familiar tune, and a woman crying. All while my head still aches from the hit I've received.
Still better than a morgue, I guess.
Gingerly, I pull myself up, stretching the cramps from my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when a sudden movement induces an acute stinging pain right through my arm.
Damn, they got me good. What time is it?
As expected, they've taken everything I have on my person. Wallet, cell phone, my keys, meds, even a small pack of gum. Protocol is protocol. In the first place, ending back in another cell ain't in my agenda. The first time was not a pleasant experience, and this certainly won't be either. Considering who's likely put me in here, could be much worse. The bars are cold to my touch when I approach it, looking for the person on duty. They'd usually allow us to contact someone, and Ashton at least has to know I'm here. He'll be pissed, that I'm quite sure of, but he's the only one who can help prove my innocence and get me out. However much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of the cell is empty, but voices float through from further in, likely the poor officers assigned to late-night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation I catch, today's topic over a snack is that moron who thought it would be wise to cross the rights. They used other names too, most of which I'd like to have words with them about in the future. But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me? Anyone?
Silence.
Excuse me! I need to make a...
Blood freezes in my veins, and my grip on the bar tightens as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than the gore, the foul smell of death hangs heavily in the air. And against my better judgment, I turn. Her face is the first thing I see. A gruesome sight on its own, eyes gleaming with nothing but malevolence, blood oozing from the large puncture wound on her head, mouth open wide in a voiceless scream. I clamp on the compulsion to retch. On instinct, I step back, putting as much distance as this cramped cell will allow between us. The bars rattle as soon as my shoulders hit it. A hindrance, not to freedom, but to safety.
Get away from me!
She moves in short, sudden, bone-crunching twitches, and I know there is no escape. I scream for help before I know it, jolting the bars with as much force as I could.
Somebody! Get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Bugger off! Some people are trying to get some sleep here!
No! She's here! You've gotta let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
Oh, you poor dear unlocked. You've unlocked a memory fragment.